Welcome back to episode 2 out of, I have no clue how many. We'll find out how many. This time we're going to focus on the warnings, the reports, what they are, what you can do, what you can't do, etc., etc. And also going to see if I can squeeze in a few explanations on some of the patch notes, because not all of them are very well explained. It's not everything. Everything is not self-explanatory. Yeah. So what we have here is on top here, we have the same in the state of the tribe as we have up here. It's a copy of the state, but it just means that you can get rid of the main UI and just focus on these. You can get rid of whatever you want to get rid of. You don't need anything but the pure screen. But I'm going to have both anyway, because that's what I'm used to. And the old days, yeah, old days, everything was listed here. We had nothing of these and nothing of this. We only had the top line and that was it. Right, so what is going on now is that it's a fairly new tribe, Riyadh. We started last time. We've only been here some sleeps, not many. And we already have reports. They kind of come immediately. So the problem here is that the lumberjack we have cannot work simply because there are not enough tools. You can see it first states that what is lacking. It says the tools are lacking for some of the activities, and you read further down, it says exactly what kind of tools is needed for what activity, and then it says not enough tools for chopping. Yeah, so basically what we need to do then is to see what are the crafters doing, because they are supposed to make these. So these do not have an issue. You can see there is no report of them lacking anything. But here the issue arises. The access does not have the resources they need. That means, in this case, it is fine raw stones. Because the first list that is lacking resources, and a bit below, you can see it's lacking the fine raw stones. And that is the crafting material groups. The crafting material groups job to do. You can see that they have all 4 of them are needing to get done. So just to make sure that we're not wasting too much of their time, I'm just going to do this for now. Actually, I'm going to do this to make sure that we first get what we need, that they pick up what's needed first to get the crafters going, and then the lumberjacks going, and then we can start to mess around with having non-limited things. As long as you get your tribe started, you can play around as you go along. Remember, you always need something to fall back on, and what we fell back on now is removing the flint cores. We don't have anything we can use with them. We can't make anything yet for them with them, and also we don't need a gazillion fine raw stones. So normally I would just let it go and wait until they finally got around to doing the fine raw stones, because we have the gathering groups also getting the logs. So it wouldn't be that we never get logs, it's just it takes longer time. But for the purpose of teaching new players that the more, I don't know, intended way to play, perhaps is the right word, I shall do it this way. So they will go get 20 bones, 20 fiber, and also 2 of the fine raw stones. And so far, that is the only report we have that we can actually do something about. And now, this report here, this sign here means there's something in nature outside of camp. This means no matter what we do, there won't be a solution to it, because this is seasonal. This is seasonal lack. For now, we have the hazelnuts and we have the raw meat. So the raw meat is because there is no dead animals at the moment in locality. But that will change, of course, when the hunters kill something. Then there will be raw meat available. And also remember that it is not only the hunters that do the stripping of dead animals. If a normal gatherer have a higher food processing a higher food processing skill than the hunter, it can easily chuck out the hunter and go do the food, the stripping itself, and be quicker about it. Then the hunter can just move on to the next prey. So keep that in mind. If you see a hunter is not stripping, you can check his level of food processing skills, and if it's really low, then you know why, because someone else with much higher skills have come and taken over. So yeah, and otherwise you have always your difficulty showing. We are in beginners, so of course it says beginner. Beginner is also green, while expert is blue, and of course hardcore is red. And this shows the overall happiness of your tribe. If you keep it at 100%, you will also have a higher percentage probability of, first of all, having ladies getting pregnant, and also higher percentage probability of getting more migrants. The frequency is increased basically based on your tribe's happiness. Yeah? But not the amount of people in the group or animals that you get during the Neolithic. It's just the frequency that is higher. Yeah? Okay. So now we know those, and this is just a report from the hunters that are some of the species are few of. There are very few wild dogs left. So what you can do to preserve the species, this is up to you as a player. If you want to preserve the species, tick out the dogs. That is what you can do. But we are not looking to preserve anything. We're just basically looking to take all resources and stay as long as we can, and then we move on, because we want to do proper scavenge run. So we're not going to be too careful with the resources. If you want to learn how to be properly careful with resources, you can go look at video I did about starting in 10k BC and never migrating. That is somewhere in my list of videos that you can go watch. But yeah, saving the animals that has a few left is basically to tick out the species that has few left of them. Yeah. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to do it. Leave it like that. And then we have, of course, that there is lacking tools. We don't have enough materials to make the axes, but that will come. So I'm not worried about that at all. You can see we have met what we needed to get all fiber. So that one is blue. So the blue arrow towards a roof there means you have met limit. So now they're working on the bones and hopefully also on the raw stones. But you can see that we already have an axe. But we still had yesterday that there was a report of too little to do the chopping. But that is simply because your gatherers are also using your axe, because you can crop with it as well. So what we should do is to make sure that we get enough tools to give options. So this is a crop option that they will take above the axe, simply because the axe is lesser than the bone knife. Bone knife will make the work 25% more efficient. So they will always try to go for bone knives when there are bone knives. Otherwise they will take the next best and the next best. And that is why sometimes the axes are taken by the gatherers. Now we can create baskets. That means we can start getting up baskets for our food. At the moment, the only basket we probably need are the dried fish, simply because people are not really eating them, because they like the fresh food better. So we can put them in a basket to make sure that they last longer. In order to force them to eat several types of food, you can also make storage for all food types and just lock down whatever has the longest life left and force them to eat things that are about to go out on date, I almost said. But you know what I mean, things that are decaying away. There are plenty of ways to do this. You can also reduce the amount of food they are gathering at the moment until they have eaten up the fish, the dried fish. Or you can put the limits low, or you can remove it altogether from the gathering task list. So what we're going to do now is to see what do we have left before we get more. So we need, for sure, we need 4% more stoneworking. And how do we get stoneworking when we only have, when we need it to get higher skills? At the moment we have two choices. We have the axes and we have the stone fencing. Now, the stone axes, they will take more work to get done because you need to use more people to gather constantly and then to spam the axes. We're going to do that eventually before we settle, because we want to have a ton of axes when we settle for Neolithic. But I think I'm going to do what I normally do. I allow one person to do stone fences. He's the only one who's going to do it, and he will learn it and progress it. And as soon as there are more people and we have reached a limit where we have bifaces, then I will open it up for more people, simply by adding another crafter to build more axes and more bifaces, because they will then work on their stoneworking skills, and we don't need to do the stone fences anymore. But we should do stone fences anyway in preparation for when wild animals are coming to ravage your camp, because that will be coming soon, won't it? So we can just basically just get used to it. Yeah. Right, so let's see now. We should also get up some more housing, because now they've been sleeping many days on their own. And since we only have one person with architecture, we need to get more. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this one here. See, you can see I am allowed to put it here. I have a white entrance. That means if you're close enough to whatever you've built last or built in the vicinity, you can put down things. But if you go too far away, you won't be able. So anything that is close to what you've already built or placed down, you can place whatever you like. Yeah? So we're going to do a little bit stylish here. It's like this. I'm just going to have this one person, and I'm hoping that this one person does not have architecture already. Because if you have architecture, then he will progress and not spread. But we want to spread, so we'll see. We'll see who takes it. Good, she doesn't have, so she will have to be working. Now, here's the trick to keep them busy for her to stay always. Make it busy. Create more than you need. That's how I do it. You can play as you see fit, though. If you don't want to do it like I do it, you know, you're not forced. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few of these as well. I'm going to put them a bit further away, but I'm going to put them where I see that they are walking. So that means I'm allowed to put them there. Like that, to keep her occupied. Because when she's constantly occupied, she's not leaving the group. There is a risk, though, with this type of housing, because you can see it asks for and grants 2 different skills. That means that she could leave after the architecture part is done and the weaving is left to do, and then a weaver comes in and do the weaving, and then someone else comes to do the architecture. So this is something that you need to be aware of. So if you see that your architecture people is leaving the group where you're building these straw pit huts, you know already that they are now working on the weaving. So hopefully they will come back, the architecture people come back after the weaving is done. So we can only wait and see how that goes. Maybe she doesn't even leave at all, but does the weaving herself. You never know. There is no one locked rule, but as a rule of thumb, there will always be specialists going for the better work, or the work that needs better people first. Right, so now we've been here 1 year. We've been here 1 year, yeah, a bit over a year. No, we haven't. We came here in October. We've been here a few months. But when you start late in autumn, year 0, the second it tips over to winter or to the next year, it shows as 1 year, even though we've only been here 2 months. Okay, so now she's also building the straw huts. I'm going to check if she has managed to get the rudimentary skills. She has not. Is it the same one? I think it is. Is it the same one? Okay, so she's doing the oh, she's not very oh gosh, this could take some time. If she's a slow learner, that means she will be slow to get the skills as well. But we just keep going. So now they're eating the dried meat from when we landed, because there's little other food because it's in the middle of the winter. I call this the poor man shack because it's absolutely horrendous. Everybody hates it. It's a minus 43 sleep quality. So sleep quality is important, especially on hardcore. You can get away with, or you can have a lot of different qualities on beginners and also normal without people complaining too much. But on hardcore, you need to have the better ones in majority and the poorer ones in much more minority. Otherwise, they will be very annoyed with you. They get unrest when the housing is very poor, when you have the option to build better. So what we don't have is the option to build better at the moment, because you can see it's showing all the better ones, but we lack the knowledge to get it. So you can see the big Peltot needs another 33% of architecture. That's going to take some time to do, because Timeline will be locking your knowledge until it's time for you to get more ability to build more knowledge within each and every type of knowledge. I'm going to go quickly over the knowledge and explain how that actually works. So what you see here is two colors on food processing. It's the same for all of them. So gray is what Timeline allows you to build based on what time it is in history and where you are in Europe. So the further east and south you are, the higher gray you will have, and the more north and northwest you are, the less gray you will have. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to do these first and see. She has woodworking. I'm not sure she has an increase though. I think I can see a little bit of gray. So this is, yeah, we have 2% more than she has. That doesn't mean we shouldn't take her. I'm going to take her even though she has one bad grade. In the beginning, it's not so super bad to take people even though they have bad grades, because you need all the workforce you can get to get up your tribe, your camp. I'm gonna put this one to more work. I'm just gonna chalk down a few of these. Okay, I need to turn it. See, now I can build it. There you go. Stay busy. Right, so the gray is what Timeline will allow you to learn of this knowledge. And the blue is what the tribe already has. So blue is what the tribe has learned, and the gray is what Timeline will allow you. So when you learn more during a month, it will turn green. It's very difficult to see on these colors. I've asked for stronger colors, but we'll see if that appears. So at the moment, everything is blue. But as we learn more, you will see that they turn a little bit green at the end as well. I have also asked to have red on things that you lose, and we will see if we'll get that as well. So that is basically the knowledge system in the UI. Now, the knowledge system in members works a little bit different. Let's look at this one. The gray here is not what Timeline will allow. The gray here is what tribe has. So you can see the gray here is all the way almost down to 50%. And it's exactly the same as what the tribe has. But you can see the gray does not go all the way around like it does here, meaning this is tribe max, and this is what this person already has. So blue for a member is what they have learned personally, and the gray is what the tribe has of max knowledge. Yeah. So you can see that she has almost learned up to tribe max in weaving. She has 19 and tribe has 21. So you can see there's a tiny sliver of gray left, and then she will meet whatever the tribe has. So that was that. And the dye is actually what you're lacking in camp. Some of these are also seasonal. We will see a lot of seasonal when we come to the Neolithic timeline and have threshers and farms and everything, because farming is seasonal, and thus we will have seasonal reports as well. In this case, what we're lacking is that we don't have enough fine sticks stored and available. So this means that we could have fine sticks, but they might be locked down or in use by someone else. So we need to go see why we have too few because we only have one person. So I'm going to give them one more person. That means we can go check free workers, and we can see we had 4, and now one of the 3 is going to take the crafter spot. So this is a good idea to use. Just use the free worker system, because then you will always know how many and who are not doing anything at the moment. So this is a good way to do it. And normally we also have a house here to start with, because we lack housing for everyone. And that house will show you in percentage how many people are lacking a place to sleep. To start with, we used to have numbers, and that was so much easier, because now we need to calculate the percentage of the population. You know, and that is a pain in the you know where. You know where that is a pain, right? So I've told them I want the numbers back, but I'm not sure we're going to get it. Let me see. You have... Okay. I'm pretty sure she had it from... No, she didn't. Yes, she did, because she's blue. Can you see she's blue? That means she's had it a while. But she learned up to what tribe has, which is 22. So she also has 22. So that is not going to help us. I want to spread it, so I'm going to give them one more, and I'm going to give them... How many do we need for this one? 10. Okay, no, never mind. I'm going to give them another good hut, better hut than the small shacks that they are sleeping in at the moment. Is this straight? I can't get it straight. Oh well. Oh, oops! Did I take some of the space? I did, didn't I? Okay, so it's not that much. I don't see where I'm building. I just chuck it down. Let me see. So 150 raw stones. Yeah. What we are going to do is we're going to let these also do the stone fencing. Okay, so she does not have, and she's going to learn fast. You know why? Because first of all, she's quick and she's able. So she's going to learn the skills fairly fast. Yeah, not worried about that. Let me see. Actually, no, I'm going to leave it on one, so only one person is working on them at the same time. Actually, if I do this, then I get one person. So that is something you can also do. You can use the priority to make sure that not many people are doing the same task. Because if you want to progress, you have one person doing many. If you want to spread, then you have many persons doing many. But at the moment, we want to both spread. We want to we want to progress and spread at the same time. Because that's why I put 2. Because in this group, we have one that has already the knowledge and one that doesn't. Yeah. Well, this is another one. The other one went to do some hunting instead. Dang it. Dang it. I wanted her to be quick. Look at her. She's not quick. She's slow and everything. And meh. Well, she will learn. Average skills they can learn, unless they are exceptional, is between 3 and 5-ish. Most normal is 3 to 4. But you do see people with 6. You do see the really smart ones with 6 knowledges. Okay, so get building, girls. This is the one I want to see increase. So they are a bit unhappy. Why? Let's have a look at her unhappy face, because you can see what's wrong with the unhappy face. Okay, so they don't have a proper housing, and the bad housing here is the reason. So that's why we're going to build more better housing. You see what this one has? She has, as you can see the green. I'm going to pause so we don't lose it. So this is how you can know if they have more insight than tribe has. And this is one of the criteria you could easily go by to help you decide if you're going to accept or reject migrants. First of all, she has 20% food processing skills. So you can see there's part of it that is green, that means she has a higher knowledge than anyone else in our tribe. So she is at 20%, while we are at 12, so she is 8% higher. So that reason alone should be enough for us to take her, because this here is not enough. She could be a slow worker, sure, and slow to learn, but she already has 3 knowledges, and 2 of them are higher than ours, so she can't be that bad, right? She's lower than we are on hunting, but she's higher on fishing. You can see she has a good portion of green. She's 57 and tribe is 47, so she's 10% higher than tribe. So this person is of course going to be accepted, and as you can see, immediately we got a very faint blue color up to tribe. It should be green. I can't see the green at all, I just see blue, because now we learned 8% more on food processing skills, and we learned 10% more on the, I already forgot what it was it fishing? I think it was fishing. Yeah, it was fishing. Gosh, memories are nice banana, I'll tell you that. Let me see how they're doing. That's that one. No, not yet. Well, I need to keep them busy, so I'm going to put up more. I'm going to put up this one, because this one is the only one that does not have a ton of minus. So when you have 2 and one of them in the group has already max skills in architecture, you're progressing as well as spreading. You should always aim for spreading first, and then you go for progress. But I have the amount of people enough to do both at the same time. Because when you start 10 KBC with 7 people, and yeah, you rarely have enough people to do it like that. So then spreading to the younger generation is more important than progressing. Because if you have like an adult that you are using for your housing, and only that adult is allowed to do the housing, then when that guy dies, then nobody else will have the skills, and all the skills that he had will be lost to tribe. So there's a reason why we should do both spreading as well as progressing, and always spreading to start with, to make sure that more than one person has it. So when one of them die or leave the tribe for that matter, I don't know what their situation is with all tribes, then we won't lose all the skills. And that is actually really important, because it's nothing more annoying than losing the ability to build stuff as you're building it, because you haven't allowed more people to work on it. Right, so now we have that one of them has improved the tribe knowledge. This is the one, because she is working and she has progressed, and now we're just waiting for this one to spread it. Yeah, so we can make straw huts, and straw huts are better than anything else. We have actually straw huts and these stone pit huts are same sleep quality. So if we look at the stones, they are -6. Then you should find -6 on the straw huts as well. It is, however, much easier to keep up with stones, because their intervals is 35, while the straw huts are just 18. And stones have so long, almost at shelf life. They last so long, even in the open, that it doesn't even show how long they last. You can see it doesn't even show. Everything else show with lower shelf life, it shows, but not the stones. The same with the other stone types as well. Fine rust stone also lasts forever in the open, in nature. So yeah, keep that in mind. Also, we are going to dismantle those that have been built, because we're going to keep them uber busy with these. And we don't want people to sleep in the really poor ones. We really don't want to have them sleep in the poor ones. Right, so you can see tribe now is less happy, because they have been sleeping in these poorer huts for quite a while. So they would like better housing. And of course, that's what we're working on, isn't it? Work on your architecture, get more options to build. And you can easily mix the good ones with the bad ones. You don't have to have all the best ones. no rule about that in beginners or normal. As long as you have a ratio of roughly 7 good ones and 3 bad ones, if you have, say you have 50 people, you are fine. You are good. So no stress about that. What I am going to stress about, and all of you as well, when that time comes, is when animal rage goes further. Devs have plans to go further. That's all I can say. But be worried for your tribes. Safety. Just saying. Be aware. There will be terrible things happening. Well, and don't forget, we have at least 5 predators waiting to be released onto the unsuspecting public. We are all in for a surprise. I'm not kidding. It's gonna be blood, tears, grief, and frustration. And then when we implement predators properly with everything that we have planned and is testing, we are going to be so busy keeping our tribe, okay? You have no clue. You have no clue of the hell that awaits us. But it is realistic. You know, back in the days, you weren't safe from animals. They would easily target you for food. You know, can you imagine also the huge size of the elks and the deer? And the auroch is like triple the size of a normal cow. Of course they're gonna harass us, just like we are trying to hunt them. So yeah, that's gonna be fab. That's gonna be absolutely fab. I can't wait. Well, I can wait because I have no choice, but I can't wait. I can, but I can't. Oh dear me. So yeah, so that was the explanations, and also something that everybody understands is the moisture alert. So green means that there is a good amount of balanced moisture. It's important to say the moisture is balanced so that it's not waterlogged everywhere. We're not drowning in water, but we have it just the way the plants like to have it. Ergo, it is green, and then the wild produce and also later the cultivated produce will be the best you could possibly have. So when it's yellow, it means there's a little bit too little moisture for all plants to thrive well. That goes also for the wild plant life and also for the domestic plant life. So if you see, for instance, 1 year with yellow and perhaps a red month within when you're having farming, and you can see that the farming quality, the yield is going down, you know why. And of course, red is drought. That is too little rain for all plants, both wild and domestic, to thrive well. So that will be a very poor year for both wild plant life and also for the domestic. So be aware that that's what it is. Yeah. Also, when it shows drought, then you need to feed your own animals more, because normally they graze 50-50 or 70% out in nature on green, and then they get roughly 30% from tribe. Yeah, so it's like craft feeding from tribe like we do today, and then they graze the rest. And when it's yellow, it's down to roughly 50%, so then you need to feed them a little bit more. And when it's red, you basically need to feed them everything, because there's nothing they can live off. I know we can see the grass, we can see there's many grass types, but for the sake for gameplay and for player immersion, the devs have decided that we're going to do it like this, and that's the way it is at the moment. I don't know if it's always going to be like this. I would like it a little bit changed, but we will see what the future brings. Right, so now we have another report that we can do very little about. Yeah, it's out of season. We have no more hazelnuts and we have no more pears. So just keep that in mind. The die is what you lack in camp, and the stop sign is now a stop sign, a no entry sign. It means what you're lacking in nature. Yeah, so die is in camp and no entry is in nature. And the reason why we have these things in nature is 99% of the time because it is seasonal. So when it comes in season, those reports will go away. Yeah. Also remember that all resources regrow, but some of them regrow slowly. So be careful with hamstring fine raw stone if you plan to stay in that vicinity for a long time. Right, now we have covered the knowledge, we have covered the icons, and that is going to be it for this episode. And I forgot to do the patch notes, but I'll do a lot of patch notes next time, I promise. Right now we are out of time. Next time we're going to talk about furthering building and making sure we keep up with skills, and we're going to talk about limits and why we have limits and how to do it. Right, until then, have fun and take care.